All right. So my name is Jeff Baker. I reside in the U.S., of course. I'm in the state of Oklahoma. I moved here 3 years ago from California. I grew up in Silicon Valley, San Jose. Worked for Adobe Systems for 20 plus years. Most of that time was in the IT department, but I kind of worked my way up to that. I actually left and came back about midway through my time there. Went to a couple of other companies to sort of fast track my career path at the time. But I started out as a technical support person at Adobe, which was very interesting, talking to a lot of customers, about their particular problems at the time. Of course, this is back in the 90s, where the product offerings back then were a lot different than they are now. We didn't have any subscription-based models or anything at that point. It was all shrink-wrap products. So it was very interesting working with it. Very stressful because you want to resolve a customer's problems, but sometimes it was easier said than done. So I am now what you would call a business coach. I've been doing that for the last 3 years, and during that time I did sell my house in San Jose and moved to Tulsa. Actually, I'm just outside of Tulsa in a town called Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Just put it into context, I'm about a 4-hour drive from Dallas, Texas. So that's a not so brief introduction, but thank you, and I look forward to every one of these sessions. They're always a learning experience for me, and hopefully for you as well.
Good.
Who wants to go next?
Well, I can maybe. I'm Alexander Sasha. I'm a programmer. I'm 36. Born in Moscow, and flew from Russia a month ago, into Armenia, Yerevan. So I'm working here now. I'm PHP developer. Today I have some problem with participating here because I have an air conditioner installing right now behind the wall. So yeah, I'm here using a phone. So I'm programmer. I'm a backend developer. Now I'm working with Laravel. In the IT industry, I'm from around for about 20 years maybe. I started as a freelancer when I was in school. So that's it. I never worked in big companies. It was a Time Out magazine in Moscow, online magazine. It was related to medicine, a company related to medicine, telemedicine. And the rest of my experience was in freelance. There was no anything interesting actually, just little works. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Alexander. So you said you also go by the name of Sasha?
What? I'm sorry.
You also go by the name of Sasha, is that right?
Yeah, Sasha. You can call me as you like, Abra, Sasha, and so on. All my nicknames.
Okay. All right, very good. Who's next? Introductions.
I can, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. I don't mind at all.
Thank you. Thank you. So my name is Ruslan. Normally, foreigners prefer calling me like Ruslan. So this they do stress at another syllables. What else? So I'm an IT engineer. I've been working in this sphere for the last 15 years. What else? So for my long labor career, I lived in such countries like Russia and Belarus. So I know currently everyone knows about their statuses, and I don't want to tell more about it, but I want to say that Belarus gave me a lot of experience, and I loved capital of Belarus. I mean, the city of Minsk so much. So, for example, daughter was born in there, and it was amazing city. In fact, what else? Regarding my occupation, I'm specialized in big data niche. So I work with big data and prefer working with company from overseas, from other regions. What else? So this is it, in fact.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know anything. What to add? What to say about myself?
Okay.
Thank you.
So Ruslan.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, Anna. Anna, you've been on this before, right? You're on mute.
Thank you. So hi everybody.
Hi.
I'm late. I'm sorry. I already participated in a couple of meetups, but I didn't meet you before. So hi, Jeff.
Hi.
I live in Novosibirsk in Akademgorodok. I work in IT as a system analyst. This is kind of this is kind of translator between business users and IT developers.
So you need a translator. That's so not
yes,
a language translator. Not a language translator.
From Russian to Russian.
Interesting.
So there are two groups of people in my company, for example, who can't understand each other, and I need to be in between to help them to communicate efficiently.
That's interesting. So it's not so much that they don't understand each other's language. Is it because of maybe technical terms and things like that?
Exactly.
Okay. That's very interesting. Okay. Go on.
I don't know what to add. That's it.
Okay. Very good. All right. So we do have some questions. The first question, we do the introductions, and then the other question that kind of joined to that is, do you want to be corrected? Believe me, my corrections are going to be very few for the most part. I'm not an English language certified expert. I'm more of a native speaker. That's why Dimitri has invited me here. I learn as much from these as probably that you do, maybe even more. But I do enjoy participating, and it's always nice meeting new people. So Dimitri and I have been friends for the better part of 2 months now. We started out in a business capacity, client relationship. We still kind of have that, but it's sort of evolved into other things, and we're now international friends. So very, very happy about that. So we'll start off with the first question. What music services do you use? Now, if you notice the shirt that I'm wearing, it says it's showing backwards on my screen, but the shirt that I'm wearing is it's an acronym. We call it the NAMM show, NAMM. It stands for the National Association of Music Merchants. It is it's actually a very, very big show among musicians and music educators, providers, all people that are involved in the music industry. And it takes place a couple of places. It takes place every January in Anaheim, California, at the Anaheim Convention Center. If you're familiar with Orange County, Los Angeles, well, Los Angeles is actually not in Orange County, but Disneyland is in Orange County. The Anaheim Convention Center is right across the street from Disneyland. So it's a very, like I say, it's a very big convention. There are multiple rooms with music instruments, music-related things like lighting and sound equipment. They also have booths where famous international musicians perform and demo the latest products. It's very interesting. I've been a few times now. You have to be kind of in the industry, which I'm kind of joined. I'm not like a 100% professional musician, but I would say I'm a semi-professional. So I had connections that got me into the show. The other show is every July, takes place in Nashville, Tennessee. I've never been there, but since living in Oklahoma, I'm actually a lot closer to Nashville than I am to Anaheim. So at some point, I'm planning to attend. So just a little information for you. If anybody wants to ask some questions about that while we're talking, we can certainly do that. But I figured that this was an appropriate shirt to wear for this discussion today. So yeah, let's start with the first question. What music services do you use? And we'll just go from there. We'll start with Alexander. Sasha.
What music services? Currently, I only use YouTube, actually, and
Okay.
or YouTube Music, because I don't like to look for music to listen to specific bands and so or so. So I just I like electronic music. So I just look for some stream that lasts for hours, and I always work with the music, so it's YouTube. I just open it, look for sci-fi music or space music, or it may be pagans music and so on, and listen to it. Before I was using Vkontakte music application. I don't remember what its name was. And maybe this is all my services. Okay, it's Bandcamp. Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Okay.
Yeah, Bandcamp. Yeah, there are many good, independent artists who. Well, I'm interested in electronic music, and there are many very great independent artists. So I use Bandcamp too.
Very good. That's very interesting. I also have an interest in electronic music. I'm not heavily involved with it, but I certainly appreciate a lot of different artists in that genre. Of course, as you probably know, we lost a couple of rather famous electronic musicians very recently. The first is Klaus Schulze. Are you familiar with him?
Oh, unfortunately, I never know who does the music.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh, so you're not familiar with names? Okay.
I just listen.
Okay.
But it's sad. It's sad news.
Yeah.
I think I heard his music, but yeah, I just don't remember. Yeah, music is like a field, like a magnetic field. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a field, and you use it. Yeah.
So you just really appreciate the music. You're not really that concerned with the artist itself, artists themselves, I should say.
Yeah. It's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The other musician we lost very recently was Vangelis, who you may or may not be familiar
Yeah.
with.
Well, that name that really hurts.
Yeah.
That really hurts because I love Vangelis from my right from my childhood. Because he wrote great, amazing soundtracks,
Yes.
and I love his music without movies. Listened to it well, maybe for thousands or tens of thousands hours.
So would he have been a maybe an early influence in terms of you enjoying or liking to listen to electronic music?
Oh, I'm sorry, there was a glitch.
Would he have been an early influence for you in terms of choosing electronic music as the type of music that you enjoy listening to?
Well, I just don't know how I came
Okay.
to electronic music. It just as all the time. I remember.
Okay.
It was electronic music. I don't know how it started.
Okay.
Really.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Ruslan. Question for you: what music services do you use? What types of music do you like to listen to?
I prefer using such services like VK Music and Yandex Music because of its popularity in Russian-speaking countries. Moreover, from time to time, I prefer using Bandcamp, and I want to say that from time to time, I buy some releases that I enjoyed so much. Besides that, from time to time, I use such services like SoundCloud or Mixcloud because a lot of DJs, a lot of bands upload their releases onto those services. If we're talking about music genres, about my favorite music styles, here I can pick. First of all, I would say that I prefer listening to heavy music or even gloomy music because maybe it is like a kind of controversy to our region. I live in Kazakhstan and people are extroverted here. And I want to find something, I would say, that is differential to common, to all things which surround me. What else? If we are talking about genres, so I can say I prefer everything. So I enjoy heavy hip hop music, heavy rock music, even heavy metal, and I prefer heavy electronic music. And of course, I've been listening to rock music since my childhood, and I remember myself when I was 3 years old. I preferred switching on our tape player, and especially I preferred listening to Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath releases when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
And, yeah. So I loved this band since my childhood. What else? And of course, I know about 5 years ago, I changed my tastes. So I mean that I diversified my taste, and I began listen to ambient releases, ambient musicians, and I'm a fan of some Russian dark ambient bands like Ushuhu. And yes, I love this band so much. And I forgot to mention such service like podcasts, because there are a lot of interesting podcasts, and I subscribed to a few of them regarding ambient and heavy rock music, and so this is it.
Okay, so so it sounds like you have a preference for, like you mentioned, heavy music. So that would include
Yeah.
heavy metal, but heavy electronic or heavy. You mentioned heavy hip hop. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what heavy hip hop would be. I'm not really too plugged into that genre.
Mhm.
I'm familiar with some hip hop, but I would have a hard time distinguishing regular hip hop from heavy hip hop. But it also sounds like your tastes are pretty eclectic. That you like a lot of different styles.
Thank you.
So-
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So if we are talking about heavy hip hop, I mean that it is a kind of alloy of such genres like heavy guitar rock music with manner of singing like in hip hop style. And I know that some famous hip hop music began to play the music in heavy genres, like a famous artist of Ice-T. He was famous more than 30 years ago, and I remember that he released an album in heavy hip hop genre that is called rapcore. So this is interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Anna.
Okay, I also use YouTube and Yandex Music. These two tools are very popular in Russia. If you never heard about Yandex Music, it's pretty similar to Spotify, but Spotify now is not available for Russian users. But fortunately, we have Yandex Music, which also have some algorithm which help you to find new music which you could like. Besides that, I use two more services. One service is Shazam. Of course,
okay.
you know Shazam. So if you
I'm familiar with
listen,
Shazam.
yeah. So if you hear some nice music out loud, you could just catch it and recognize and probably find it later.
Oh
to
yes,
listen.
Shazam. Right. So,
Yeah.
Shazam was as a phone app. Now
Mhm.
it seems like Google has adopted that same technology where you could hold your phone up and it'll recognize what the tune is it's playing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was a big Shazam user until I discovered that Google could do the same thing. So, although I think probably Shazam does a better job.
Mhm. I prefer
Go ahead.
Shazam. I know Google do almost the same, but Shazam works better for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I may go back to using it again. Go ahead.
And another instrument I want to mention, it's called Radiocom. I'm not sure if they have an application, mobile application. I'm sure they have, but I used to deal with browser version, like just site in the internet. It's like music time machine. You have a map. You could choose a country. You could choose a decade and play music which was popular those time in this country. This is amazing. I will share a link. It's very nice tool. I adore it.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, so you could find something you never had in any other way. As for genres, I like different genres, like jazz, folk music, some kind of rock music, for example, art rock, progressive rock, and if you know what I mean, math rock. Have you heard about it?
Math rock. So
Math rock.
when
Yeah.
you mentioned art rock, progressive rock, that's kind of my zone too. I'm a big, I guess I would be considered old school, but I'm a big Yes and Genesis fan from way back. I'm also a drummer. So
Great.
Alan White, another person we just lost recently, who originally was the drummer for Yes for the past, 30 years or more, 40 years, 50 years, going on 50 years. And of course, Phil Collins, if you're familiar with him, also a drummer. But
Yeah, I know.
yeah, so I go back way back into that genre. Of course, I also like jazz, rock. I started out liking, I've been a longtime Beatles fan. But you have to talk about math rock. I have never really. I mean, I'm not surprised that the genre exists, but I'm just curious what bands would fall into that category.
It's a bit close to progressive.
That's what I would think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But it has very complicated polyrhythmic music. I probably better share an examples.
So
But-
I actually have been
Yeah.
watching some artists on YouTube that I would probably fit into that category, and I'm trying to think of one of them. If you're familiar with, she's a drummer, but I think she's also a very all-around musician. But she kind of, I think drums are her main instrument. Her name is Camille Bijot. She's from France, and she'll actually do drum covers of particular tunes, I think, in that same category. There is a band, I'm trying to think of their name. The tune is called, the name slips me. I'll have to look it up. But I think it may be close to the kind of genre you're describing. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I knew this was going to be an interesting discussion. So go ahead.
Actually, this is it. But I'd like to exchange some links, some
Yeah.
names, maybe later.
Yeah.
So I can send some examples of math music later.
Yeah. Okay.
And you too.
Yeah. So as a drummer, I've been recently exploring polyrhythms and anything I find on YouTube, I'm just glued to my set when I'm watching these, because it's like, how are they doing this? How long does it take them to master this particular song, playing these complex rhythms simultaneously? So very interesting, very interesting topic. Okay, so I'm going to skip question 2 because I think we sort of have gotten answers to that already, just when you're talking about the various genres that you've been listening to for the sake of time. But I think we'll go to the third question. What music helps you prepare for work? What kind of music do you listen to music while you're working? Some people like to, some people don't. Personally, I don't like to listen to music while I'm working because it's a distraction. However, having music on when I was studying or something like that, maybe once in a while, but primarily work, I don't like to have music playing. Now, I used to have colleagues in my old past jobs where they would have the music playing constantly in their office, whether they're talking to people or not. So we'll start with Sasha. Do you listen to music while you're working? Do you prefer to or not to?
More results. Well, and if I'm tired, so then I use some more relaxing.
Okay, all right. So you'd probably use music to maybe to cancel out the fan noise you're talking about earlier?
Can you repeat this?
You mentioned that there was some fan noise earlier on. I don't hear it now, but I heard it originally. You said the air conditioner or the fan had just started. So I was just wondering if you'd listen to music to drown out that noise.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can. No, every noise, every single noise uh, stops me from concentrating. So, music is like a portal. You go to that portal and you can work there. If
Okay.
you need to stop, you return from it. And there is, I see no difference. What noise? Noise is noise. Conditioner. Currently, it's just installing. So 2 hours and it's done. And I can't work now because disabled everything and hide it from the dust.
Okay.
Like so.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So you prefer, if I heard you correctly, you don't really listen to much music at work, or you may sometimes and sometimes not.
Uh, well, uh, uh, if I use my PC, then I listen music always. Yeah, if I'm working or not, it's always I listen to some music. Yeah, sometimes yes, I switch genres, but well. Really, if somebody tell me you can work, but you can use your headphones, then I say, well, frick you. I will not work with you.
Okay.
Actually,
All right. Very
yeah,
good.
it's like that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ruslan. What kind of music helps you to prepare, or do you listen to music at work? And does it help you?
These are good questions. For my preparation, it is hardly it is hard to say what music. I guess maybe some uprising, highly energetic, like I don't know, maybe some thrash metal songs. Why not? Maybe some songs from rapcore genre. What else? If we are talking about music that helps me to be more concentrated. So in this case, such genres like ambient, especially dark ambient, space ambient, uh, fit very well for this one. And what else? If we're talking about listening to music when I do some routines, when I do some mechanical routines, so here I can say that any genre will be good. Irrespective of the genre, I can listen any quick, for example, songs, any energetic, or on the contrary, I can listen to some sad, gloomy songs. Yes, that's it.
Okay, very good. I'm just typing some things in the chat.
Soma FM, what is it?
So,
Uh-huh.
trying to keep our conversation. I just was reminded by Dimitri that we want to try to keep our answers to the 2 minute. We have some. I'd say we have some. What's the word I'm looking for? Some latitude there, but we want to keep the 2 minute time frame in mind. And sorry to not mention that earlier. But yeah, I listed a couple of things here. Soma.fm is a music service that started in San Francisco. Soma actually is an acronym for South of Market, which is kind of an area in San Francisco. But Soma FM is started, I'm going to say, the better part of 20 years ago. Originally, I didn't know about them till about 10. But it's a music service. They have all different genres. I think their real breakthrough started for for Burning Man. If you guys have ever heard of Burning Man, it's a big festival they have in the Nevada desert
I heard.
every August. So that's how I think that's how, because I think they had piped in their music to the various locations within the Burning Man location, and I think that's pretty much how they started getting known. Well, they now have a music service that I'm sure all of you will find genres on there that, assuming you can get to it, that you're familiar with, and maybe some newer ones too. They have everything from dark ambient to hard rock to commercial to even things like bluegrass and country, if that has any interest for you. But I would say check it out. TuneInRadio.com is an app, but you can also find them on the internet. They are also a music service. They have a little more of a broad reach, all sorts of genres. It's really more like a internet radio service. They have they have any radio station in the world that has streaming, they should be able to provide access to them. So if you want to listen to a radio station in Germany or Switzerland or even other parts of Russia that you wouldn't normally get on a radio, that's a way to do it. Anyway, that's a short advertisement, as it were. So Anna, talk about what you do in terms of, do you listen to music at work? What kinds of music do you listen to?
Yeah, I do listen music at work usually, because either I work at the office or I work at home. There is a lot of there is noise. So in the office, people talking to each other, talking by phone, talking in personal, and they make noise, and it's bother me. I couldn't concentrate, so I need my earphones and music to focus. At home, I often listen my neighbors who, I don't know, reconstructing their apartment, or these awful people who cut the grass in the yard, or someone else. So there are so many source of noise in the world, so I need music to be on my own and concentrate on my work.
Yeah.
As for kind of music, actually maybe not really energetic music, not heavy loud music, but nothing special. Any kind of music I like.
Okay, very good. All right. Hold on a second. Let me go back to. So this last question I think is a very good one. What functionality do you find lacking in music services? In other words, what features or functionality of the music services that you're familiar with, or then I would say probably the ones that you use the most, what would you like to see added to those particular services? We'll start with you, Sasha.
I think when I started to use YouTube, I I just don't know what it lacks. Well, is when they started YouTube Music, where you listen music without video. Well, it was for the function, the only function I think that it lacked. So well, surely I want to download any music that I like to listen it offline and so on. As far as I know, YouTube already has it.
Has that
You can
functionality, right?
download. Yeah. So well, I just don't know what else I need
Okay.
actually.
So you're not
Yeah.
you're not terribly picky. And
Yeah, I think services went so far, so people like me are already satisfied. So
yeah, and there's no, just as a reminder, there's no right or wrong answers here. You know,
yeah,
in general, but also in terms of the topic at hand today. Whatever you do is whatever you do, and that's all fine. And but it just sounds like you don't have a lot of expectations, and the functionality that you would want is already available to you. And that's, you know, that's kind of the same. I'm the same where that's concerned. I think I don't do a lot of downloading, but every once in a while I do, and I do have some applications, mostly on my PC, that I use. I don't like to download a lot of files to my phone because it uses up storage, and my phone is I don't have a lot of storage space on my existing phone. I'm trying to remedy that. I'm hoping to get a new phone here in the next few weeks, but for now, most of the downloading I do is going to be on my computer, on my laptop. Okay, Ruslan, what functionality or services or would you like to see added or removed?
This is a good question. I know. I was pondering over it about which functionality should be added, and I guess that this would be interesting to add some biography about a band, or maybe a certain musician, because in some cases there is not enough to listen to random song to find out that this song is exciting and catching. And for example, I don't want to spend a certain amount of time to Google information about the artist, about the musician, and for me it would be better to read about him or her in another tab, for example. What else? If I'm based in the same region like my favorite artist, I'd like to see, for example, schedule of the artist's concerts, because I know that such information normally is published on somewhere in the artist fan page in Facebook, or what else, or maybe in the official site. What should be removed? So I don't know even what should be removed.
Okay. Yeah. I put remove there, but I'm, you know, the more I think about that is most people aren't going to think of services you'd like to have removed unless it's just, well, I could probably give an example. With regard to YouTube, I right now I am using the free YouTube service. I know that they are trying very desperately to get people to switch over to the subscription paid for service. But I'm fighting against that right now. But one of the things that I would like to see removed is, maybe not for everything, but the ads that they place. if I'm watching something and it's interrupted with an ad, that's one thing, but I'm not terribly upset by it. What I really get upset about is when they place an ad right in the middle of a song that I'm listening to. That just seems like it's, you know, unnecessary. But again, it's their push to have me go to the, you know, subscription service, which right now I'm refusing to do. I think at some point I'm going to make a decision to either go with YouTube or another service, you know, full-time subscription. But for the time being, what I'd like to see, I guess, removed would be the ad placement for, you know, within the for the music videos. I'll tolerate them for the other ones, but music videos, I wish they would stop doing that. Okay, Anna, what functionality do you find missing in music services that you'd like to add? By the way, this has been a really interesting conversation. Really have enjoyed this.
Okay. I actually thought about this question, and it's a really difficult question because I think I have everything I need, really. So the only one thing I probably need is more options for free.
Wouldn't we all?
for example, I want to download music to be able to listen it when I'm not connected to the internet. For example, I'm somewhere in mountains, or probably I just in the area with poor connection. So
Right.
I want to listen some music for free, but it's limited. Let's say
Right.
it's limited. But as for adding some functionality, I think I have everything. Regarding removing something, so probably I believe you don't know this band, but guys, other guys definitely know it. I want to remove Ruki Vverh, really. If it's possible to remove it, it will be great. And some other bands, but this one for sure.
You want
It's
to
just
remove what?
very awful Russian band.
Oh, so you want to remove the band altogether? I'm not sure how much success you'd have with that, but
Censorship. Well, when you guys were talking about your speaking about your point of view, I thought, yeah, that the one thing that I lack, I miss is ability to totally ban something from my YouTube. Yeah,
yeah.
not from everyone, but I want to not see anywhere again.
Yeah,
So yeah,
YouTube.
Ben,
I would say, yeah, I would say my examples of that would be on YouTube, and the best way to do that for me is you just don't select on certain videos that might trigger more videos coming across your view. But yeah, I haven't figured out a way to do that. I wanted to get back to something that Ruslan mentioned with regard to more background information regarding artists. I think that's a great suggestion. You know, because you know, you watch an artist on YouTube, and then I have to Google on my phone while I'm watching this video who the artist is, where they're from, what the band members' names are, if it's multiple people. And yeah, it'd be nice to have a service that provides all that information in one space. Doesn't Spotify do that? I'm not a big Spotify person. I have been a Pandora person, although Pandora, I guess, is considered old school at this point. Is Pandora even available in Russia right now? You mentioned that Spotify was not. Does anyone know?
I don't even know what is it.
So Pandora was
I don't
a
know
music
anything
service.
about it.
Yeah, Pandora is a music service that is very sort of like Spotify, although I think it's different in many respects. But it's a way of they will you pick an artist on Spotify that you like listening to, and then they will use an algorithm to match other artists along the same genre and put a kind of a playlist for you together, and you can have multiple playlists based around certain artists. I use Pandora very, very infrequently, but it is and it's been around a lot longer than Spotify has. Although I think Spotify is a much more popular app these days. Now, you said Spotify was not available where you are, right? I'm just wondering if that's tied to the Russia-Ukraine war right now, because I think there's a number of things of businesses that are have.
May
Go ahead,
I
Anna.
make a notice? I'm not sure about Spotify. I didn't use it much, really, and now it's not possible. But the Yandex Music actually provides some information about the band or about the singer. A short, very short, not bio, but let's say description.
Okay.
Link to official sites, pages, etc.
No,
And
I
they
have
also
not.
provide lyrics for songs.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there are some lyrics.
Yandex.
Yandex Music, yeah, they have some
Is
information.
that Yandex? Okay. Okay. I'm just wondering, is that only available in Russia? You know? Because I could use my VPN and try to find it that way too.
Oh well, I don't think Yandex is blocked currently from other countries.
Okay.
It should
So
work.
All right. I'm going to look
I
it up.
use it
Yeah, yeah,
abroad. It should work.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so we're running short of time here. In fact, I was going to try to see if have a free time. We've had a little bit of that already. Anybody have any questions before we end our call today? Is there anything they want to bring up?
Well, it's this time is well. I have some problem to focus on our meeting because of all the things that happening in the flat. When Ruslan told us about his preferences. Am I glitching now?
No, you're fine. Oh, he just went on mute.
Yeah, it looks like he
Maybe lost connection or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, yep. Dimitri, do you want to join us? Okay.
You mean
Great
you want
idea.
to sing? You want to sing to, let's say, Shazam, and Shazam recognizes what you're singing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because then you don't. That way, you don't have to wait for the song. You just sing the tune and let Shazam recognize it. Yeah, I don't think that sophistication has been built into it yet. Yeah, I thought of that myself. But
I believe
think
it exists.
Really?
Yes, I believe it exists. We just should Google for it.
You have to accompany yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, tempo. Um, beats per minute. Yeah. Okay. Um, I would. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I have to end the call because I have another client I need to meet up with in the next minute or so. But I want to say that I've really enjoyed meeting all of you, and this has been a very interesting conversation. Dimitri, can I request that we maybe continue along this same discussion for next time, or for the future anyway, if not next time? Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. It is. Yeah. And if you want to yeah, if you want to maybe make it a little more IT relevant, I'll leave that up to you. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a great rest of the week, and I look forward to talking to you all again. And thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. It was a joy.
All
Yes.
right.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Me too.
Thank you a
Bye.
lot.
Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Yeah, it
Bye bye.
was nice.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye all, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm fully satisfied with the current event, and of course, I will join definitely next time. And regarding discussion of music themes, I want to say that music is one of most important part of my life. I don't know about affection of you or Alex. So what else? What else? And yeah, as a meloman, I love such discussions because sometimes they can bring more. They can bring something interesting and to enrich my maybe how to say to enrich my heart portfolio. I would say I would call it like this.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. Yeah, we have four different kinds, at least four different kinds of listeners. Yeah. Well, I have. It was a bit difficult to me to understand all the things people say. Also, there was no difficult, phrases and so on. But well, it's just my problem today. Well, uh, it was yeah, well informative. It was. Yeah, I like to say how people do something, how people listen music, how they choose applications and so on. Well, it's really interesting. uh, so it was nice. Well, what more about IT? I personally like different topics. So, is it IT or not? The main thing is it must be interesting. It must be something we all can speak, talk about, to share something and so on. So, well, if next time it would be well. basics of philosophy or what food do you like. I really don't care. It's anyways, it's interesting. Well, and well, would it be IT? Okay. Uh, I'm okay with it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well,
So, by the way, Dima, from a point of view, IT people are they love music so much, and as they some of them are introverts, they prefer listening to heavy music because I don't see in other spheres huge number of people who prefer listening to different genres of metal. So, for example, Anna mentioned that she prefers listening to bands like Meshuggah. What else? There are a lot of popular bands from my end, such as who Slayer, for example. Who else? It may be. I prefer a lot of bands playing in melodic death metal, and this is okay because I guess that heavy music helps to achieve aims, and this music keep us concentrated because of their heavy sound. This is my opinion. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
composition.
Good.
Can I ask a question? Well, do they volunteer in your project? Is well, no. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because uh, but I think well, if paid a bit, maybe it can we can say it's health volunteer or something. Well, I think if I would be a native speaker, I would like to share something and so on. But maybe compensate a bit my time, but it's not the. It would be not the main reason to take part. So like that. But it's I just wonder. uh, yeah. It was nice to to hear that. Yeah. Well, I see. We had three music. Very um, big fans, big lovers of music. You three with Jeff. Uh, yeah. Well, I think I and Dana. Listen to it the totally different way. uh, um, so I glad we met here and shared our what we love. Yeah. 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 Thank you. Yeah. See you all
Yes,
next time.
so do I. Bye bye.
Bye.